Welcome to Movie of the Year, the only podcast that has the science and the screaming to figure out what the best movie is of any given year. This is, of course, 2002, but folks, we will not be talking about a movie tonight. I mean, maybe if it comes up tangentially or a song comes in, but it is the mixtape of 2002.
Oh, yeah.
That person who's super excited is Greg.
Mixtape is one of my favorite shows because we get to listen to music and we get to talk about something we don't understand, really, which is music.
5 years into this, we still don't understand music.
No.
And decades of being in the world and listening to music, we still don't understand why it does what it does to us.
I feel like we're always supposed to have Cassie on because it'll be Cassie's turn and she'll say something like that really sounds like someone who understands music, but I'm just going to be like, I like when it goes like, bah, 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 bah.
Ba, 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 ba. Being surprisingly polite is Ryan.
Thanks, Mike. Man, and we had a pre-show meeting so that the listeners weren't privy to, but I just want you to get through one sentence tonight that also doesn't have a dig at me. That would be great. Can we try it? Taste one of the muffins that I made for the show today.
That sounds like a threat. That's like a weird threat, a weird muffin threat.
There's definitely poison in this muffin.
Okay.
But around the poison, delicious.
See, still insulting. I
But
tried
you-
to not make it delicious at all. It was just supposed to be poison flavored.
And I'm sorry.
Does poison taste like raisins to you guys?
No, I love raisins.
Maybe prunes, though. Not a
Yeah,
prune guy.
Fuck prunes.
Too
Different
big.
dried fruit. Too big.
Yeah, I don't know.
Too good for my stools.
I can't deal with that.
Chuttle, blah, blah, blah. Cassie's the best. If Cassie is our go-to music expert, this podcast is fucking doomed.
Well, Taylor doesn't come around anymore, Ryan.
Do you hear that,
Eventually,
Taylor?
all the people who know music leave us, probably
Yeah.
for this show.
If Taylor, you're listening to us right now, text us.
I think it's because I said I don't like drums.
I thought it was years of sexually harassing him with a smile on your face.
Oh, yeah. That might be it. The weird energy I direct at him all the time.
But that's not... Well, actually, that energy probably is a lot of what 2002 was about. It was a weird time. What does 2002 in music mean to you? Ryan, start with you.
Mike, you know how I do research, right? I find a hill, somewhere between a hill and a mountain, a Hilton. I go to a Hilton. I stay at a Hilton, and I don't like to use the internet. I just like to think about the music of 2002 in my heart-shaped jacuzzi. And while I was thinking, I was like, I don't think I listened to any of this. Not the rock, not the rap. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe this was when I was deep diving into the history of music, or maybe this was when I was creating the future of music. Just me, a Casio keyboard, and a bowl of goldfish. The cracker.
A little something like this.
That's right. I called it cracker music.
Were you Uncle Cracker?
But like, so much of my radio or so much of my music before streaming was radio, and it was just which radio station you were listening to. And my answer is zero. This was all of it. I know because it's in the past, and so it's been continued to play for the last 20 years. But at the time, I don't know what I was listening to.
Maybe you're just one of those psychos who would just stare off into space, drive around for hours, no music.
This might have been the year where my car did not have a stereo. And so, yeah.
You just sing show tunes as you drove around?
I would write show tunes, Greg, or I would invent podcasting, solo one-man podcasting.
Hello, kittens. Just to yourself.
They used to just call that talking to yourself.
Yeah, but now it sounds cooler. I invented podcasting. I thought it was the year you deeply got into Rush Limbaugh, but was that 2004?
Oh, that was like 1988 through 2014 or so.
Isn't it fucking awesome that he's dead?
Republicans, fans of small government, limited role of government. Sorry, that's my Rush Limbaugh impression, everybody.
We all, you know what? We all grew up in Orange County. We were all lambasted with Rush Limbaugh throughout our lives. Okay?
I was so excited to watch that movie, I Love You, Man, because all I heard was the main characters were into Rush, and I was like, fuck yes, this is my
finally,
just two
I'll
best
be seen
friends,
on screen.
Mega Dittos movie.
Two best friends just hanging out with Rush in the background, going to Rush Live. It was a much different movie than I thought.
Yo, you guys remember how Trump, in the middle of the State of the Union speech, gave him the highest medal that you can give to a civilian?
Yeah, that was nuts. Let's go back to a simpler time with an uncontroversial president, 2002.
Wonderful.
I don't think...
W,
yes. Sorry. I didn't mean to... W. Yeah, W. He was a painter. We loved him. He was a good old country boy. You'd have a beer with him, and I don't think music was responding to 9/11, and the war hadn't started yet. So this is going to be a simple, fun mixtape.
History is full of terrible war criminals who are also shitty painters.
Terrible painters, yes. Greg, what did O2 mean to you?
I found this on the web for Tara.
For me, it meant the sounds of top 40, Mike, which is like highly sanitized pop punk esque songs. A lot of music that with just like kind of no like soul. I don't know, like very hyper produced and almost like sterile sounding.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Top 40 my entire life. I will still defend it, but when you listen to it, it's clear, oh, you guys are influenced by everything, yet took anything that was good out of your influences.
Yeah, like there's a lot of punky bands at the time where they are like they like have that look to them that's like their aesthetic, but then
You're saying Good Charlotte. That's who you're talking about. Don't
Or-
beat around the bush.
Avril Lavigne or Jimmy Eat World. I like Jimmy Eat World, but if you listen to the music from their 2002 album, it is so like hyper produced. There's no room tone.
Sure, but to be fair, Jimmy Eat World, they're all like in khakis and button up like Hawaiian shirts, where Avril Lavigne and Good Charlotte look like they want to be in the casualties. Jimmy Eat World look like 4 youth pastors just got on stage and started singing together.
Watching the videos of 2002, Avril Lavigne looks like she did not agree to be the kind of celebrity they tried to make her into. And all her videos, she's rolling her eyes the entire time. Don't make me do this.
Here's
But
a
yeah,
tie
so
and a wife beater.
That kind of like, I feel like like low risk, low interest, probably low downside, very like a strictly controlled artist.
And are we dick deep in the TRL era?
Dick deep. 3 knuckles dick deep into TRL.
Yeah, I think we're on like the back. We're on the beginning of the
fading.
back. Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, for a large swath of music, it was what is the song/video that will stay on TRL the longest?
Yeah.
That is how you wrote music.
And like when I think of these songs, I think of like my college cafeteria, the videos they had on while I was eating my sandwich, you know?
But yeah, I think this is a couple years after Carson Daly and Fred Durst had to switch M&M chairs.
Classic moment in music history.
Couple years after Joe C. passed, you know, Carson took that very hard.
And left
We
the
miss you,
Pussycats alone.
Now, are we going to... Mixtapes are like the one time we let our freak flag fly, right? We don't have to just because it was popular. We can listen to what we want to listen to.
Well, I thought the rules were pretty clearly, let's make a time capsule. Let's take
yeah,
people
like
back to
it
2002.
should sound like 2002, but like to us.
This
I
is going to
think
sound
that's
like
fair.
2002 because I did I didn't go to a Hilton. I went to a Marriott courtside because I have the points and I'm not as rich.
You and I get very
And-
different paychecks.
You mean the Marriott that's right next to the basketball court? The
Yeah,
Staples
just me,
Center?
Jack Nicholson, looking at our windows. And when I did that, I was like, I don't remember any of this. And by that, I was looking at the Billboard Top 100. And then when I finally sat down and really dug deep into the Marriott, I went, oh, I remember the albums that I listened to. So there might just be weird tonal changes here.
Yeah, I
Our
mean-
2002s might have been very different.
If you had like a CD collection or if you had MP3s or something and you search for 2002, then all your music would come up.
Right.
But if you just go by what was hot, you liked mostly what was not.
Yeah. Oh, my shit was not hot.
Do you guys ever hear? I think Jason Pargins. He had that. He wrote those books.
David Wong.
David
he wrote
Wong,
the
yeah.
John Dies at the End.
I don't think
Oh,
he goes
yeah,
by
yeah,
David
yeah.
Wong anymore though. 'Cause
No, it's just Jason Parker.
it's weird. His theory that Hot or Not destroyed the world because
Yes.
that gave way to Facebook, which gave way to everything else.
That guy on a lark joined TikTok, and he's like, "This is the biggest thing I've ever done." He just watches viral videos and just like very calmly like responds to them, usually in a joking manner. But he's like, "This is more readers than I've ever had at Crack. This is more
Yeah.
readers of my novels. This is more people that follow me on Twitter." And he's like, "And I hate it, but I've got the more." And he's promoting a book right now, so he's like, "I can't back off of it, but I've got hundreds of thousands of followers for no reason."
There's this TikToker. It's called Chef Reactions, and it's this very dry, monotone chef, like professional chef, watching people cook on TikTok, and just like,
That sounds great.
Don't do that. Don't
why,
know.
why? That's fucking disgusting. Are you a fucking
Okay.
idiot?
What is our thing? How are we going to blow up on TikTok? What are we going to dryly, monotonely comment
But
on?
after
What are
a
we
couple
experts
months,
in?
after a couple months of doing that, there was one of just like, my life is so different. I don't know what's happening. I get so many comments. I don't know, like, if this is what fame is like, then I hate it. I have to quit doing this. This is awful.
And it's too late because now
Yeah.
you're in its clutches now. It's got you.
Honestly, I think that two of us should make a TikTok and the other one should comment on it, and we just rotate commenter and the two actors.
Yes.
Isn't that the
And
most pop filter thing we could do?
It is very pop
Just
filter.
head
Just,
up
you know,
butt Mobius style.
try to stay monotone and disdainful, even though inside you're like, this is the best thing that's
Oh, I
happened to
love
me.
these guys
I
so
love
much.
my friends.
None of us ever did the like forward-facing camera one shot trying to do like guy you get stuck talking to at a party and then
Well, it's listeners can't tell, but you don't want to see these faces.
no, I
forward
think that's
facing.
definitely a big
we're
part
all
of it.
we're real good 3/4 angle gents.
We've got faces made for podcasting.
All
Not
right.
even good enough to get let into the radio studio.
And feet made for OnlyFans.
How this works is Serpentine. Greg gets the intro song. Ryan gets the outro song. Every other song is allowed to move but those. Let's take a quick break and jump into the mixtape. Gregory, let's set the scene.
All right, to get things started off, I think we gave half a picture of what music was like in 2002 because there's actually a fair amount of really cool rap and hip hop in 2002 that I don't think falls into quite the same pitfalls that a lot of the like pop and punk fell into. I'm going to start off with Work It by Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott
Yeah.
is so talented, and basically everything she has to offer is available in this one song, and the music video is amazing. Yeah. It's the first thing people are going to hear on our mixtape.
It's our voices talking over Missy Elliott.
This is a Missy Elliott one-time exclusive. Come on, is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and
I know, guys, that this is not a draft, and yet I will still say this is my number one hot draft pick right out of the gate. Like, this has to be here.
Yeah, we don't always know who's gonna get the number one pick, but you so you show up at the studio and you hope it's gonna be you. But this was like the one where you see that it came out in 2002, and you're like, okay, well, if called upon, I will.
It is my fucking duty.
It is my duty to make sure that we rock that booty by listening to this song first.
And this is cinematically all of our mixtapes. You're entering a party in that year.
Yeah.
And just imagine walking to a party and this song is like, you can hear it piping in from the back living room or the backyard. You're just like, oh, tonight is going to be fucking good.
And
Yeah.
like, this is 2002, you're saying? So camera's right in front of us as we walk down the hall, and it's very fast motion and then very slow motion.
Yes.
As like cups are thrown behind us and lampshades, and then very fast motion as we turn the corner. 2002, guys.
2002. And the whole time they're like, is this poignant or just annoying? It's both. It's high school, baby.
A lot of different good sounds in there, a lot of good sort of phases for that song, and I think that kind of energy we need starting off.
Unfortunately, she was overtaken by a felonious felony, Elliot, who was much bigger than her, but she remains in our hearts.
All right. You know what? I'm going to keep that energy going.
Do
This
it.
is less cool, but gosh darn it, is it 2002? Which some would say is the hottest year on record. And it was certainly hot in her.
Yep, there we go.
We were all rocking Band-Aids on our cheeks.
So hot in her.
And a little guy from St. Louis was burning up the charts.
Oh. Want a little bit of, and a little bit of. Take a little bit of, just a little bit of, just a little bit.
Who thought that there could be a follow-up bigger than Country Grammar, one of the greatest songs of all time?
It's almost like Country Grammar is forgotten at this point in time, which does make me sad because that song's fun.
Well, the third verse, every line ends in the N-word. That's what rhymes in the part. So it's hard to,
Get like as enthusiastic.
loud.
That makes
yeah,
karaoke night hard.
yeah. And Weird Al didn't come out with a version of Country Grammar that we could sing instead, like he did with Hot in Here.
Oh man, but he
called
could have come
Trash
out with
Day.
one called like Kelsey Grammar, and it's just
Oh.
following his career, all the different things.
Third verse, every word, every line is Frasier.
I'm hot like
Oh, man.
Frasier, on fire like a brazier.
I would still feel weird and say F word at the end of every line.
Is that the F word people talk about?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he
it.
still uses the F word?
The important part of this song is it gives us the dream of maybe girls will get naked at this party. That was such
Yeah.
a big part of 2002.
The song said it.
Yeah.
So it's
Ladies, are
definitely,
you hearing the music?
It has roughly the same subtlety of what's his name? The punk kid from Simpsons who's like, "Oh, my shirt is chafing too."
Oh yeah, Jimbo.
Jimbo. That's the song's like, "Oh, it's so hot in here. I guess we better take off all our
What are
clothes."
we gonna do, right?
I would say this is, even though it's so apparent and obvious, it's better energy than when you're on a dance floor and "Move Bitch" comes out of the speakers.
Uh-huh.
Then dudes are just shoving chicks and be like, "Well, the song said it." It is. I like that song. I do not like when it comes on the club. It is scary.
Dudes getting it done.
Dudes just get it done from day one. All right, Ryan, you are up next.
I don't know if you said this, Mike, but it's one song per artist.
Artist,
Yes.
yeah.
So I can pick this song and eliminate another song I never want to hear again.
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
We are opposite people.
Yeah.
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Guess who's back?
I assure you guys that tonight, without having Lose Yourself, will not be the only time we don't talk about Mom's Spaghetti. We're going to talk about it for the entire season.
Thank
I promise
God.
you.
But-
But I would like one 2002 thing to happen without hearing about fucking Lose Yourself.
And where do you want this to be, Ryan? Do you want it to be? Should it be our third song?
Yeah, this is number 3.
Now, maybe Without Me is a better song than Lose Yourself. But since we only listened to the first 10 seconds, man, one of the most annoying openers in musical history.
Yeah.
Obi Trice, no games, no gimmicks.
No, I like that. You know what? Obi tries to keep going, but then M has to come in, and he's like, I don't know if I've really hit my true helium potential. You know, I'm going to say a random line that makes no sense to the rest of the song in the highest possible voice. I think I turned this song off so often because of the intro that I could not tell you what the rest of this song is like.
I could do it for you right now.
It's like that. It's
like that. Oh, I thought you were going to rap a cappella.
No, I'll do it with the music. Ready? Oh, my iPad broke. Shit.
Oh, no.
ladies and gentlemen, he was just about to do it.
Oh, we were all ready. And he was going to start breakdancing. You threw the cardboard down.
I accidentally said iPad. I'm so sorry. Eminem is here in the studio. Performing that
course.
live, and so is Obi Trice. He's here too.
Well, you're close enough friends that you can call Eminem by his true name, iPad.
But yeah, it's definitely third because we are clearly losing coolness points as we go through this mixtape. And
Yes.
if we keep that up for maybe like the first third, let's say, if Act 1 of the mixtape is just to decrease in coolness, then I can clearly see Eminem moving down a couple more spots.
I do feel like though we have situated Missy Elliott in her rightful place,
Yes,
which
she is
is
the
like
queen.
heads and shoulders above other
Knees
recording
and
artists.
toes.
All right, Greg. We're coming back to you.
All right, so we start over again with me. Let's see.
Wait, no, I don't get one?
I thought it was Serpentine, and Ryan got to go again.
You're right.
I remember
you
I
said
did like
serpentine,
the hissing. Yeah,
and you hissed.
I did.
I forgot about that. Ryan, it's back to you. Double tap.
Okay. Man, looking at this list now, just the coolness is just gone. Are we doing 15 songs, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think that I am going to go with guys, I'm gonna hope that you guys save me later, because remember, all of these are maneuverable. You can jack shit in there. But right now, here's the level of cool that I think that we're at.
Oh yeah.
So much. Oh, it's
He was a boy.
He was a
that
boy.
soulless music Greg was talking about.
He was a girl. Could you?
He was a punk.
Can't.
She did ballet.
But Most of this song is like of the time and okay, whatever. And the last verse is you're like, oh, you're like a single white femaling somebody.
No,
it's fucking lunacy.
She's a psychopath.
And this is one of the videos that she's in where it's just she's like, I'm sorry the video's like this, everybody. I don't know why they made it this way, but they did.
I mean, just to include the line, can I make it any more obvious? Brilliant. That's fire.
And
now
where
you're allowed to say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Where-
exactly.
Where do you want this to be, Ryan?
This is number 4. You guys have to go in and cool this up.
Yeah, that's true. We need to put that at the end. Like, we need to put it far enough in that it's like, isn't it ironic that isn't it funny that we put this on tonight? We're all a little drunk. If you had a high school girlfriend who said, this is our song, what would your reaction be?
I think, honestly, I would call my wife and have a heart-to-heart.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I mean,
you may-
I'd have a
let-
lot of
okay.
explaining to do. I'd have to get my priorities in
You
line.
have a girlfriend in high school, that's disgusting.
But I think ultimately, yeah, I'd go with it.
You'd have
You know,
to
she gets to choose.
Pull out Greg's classic pros and cons list tablet and start filling it out.
okay, I'll be more specific. If you were in high school when this song came out
Oh.
and your girlfriend said, I think this is our song.
Hey, Mike, there's no fucking way in high school that I was A, paying attention to lyrics, or B, getting to the third verse of a song my girlfriend told me to listen to.
No, it's not just the third verse. Is the first 2 verses. If it's a fine song in general to the third verse, but if somebody says this is us, the first 2 verses is like I treated that boy like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
you
guess I would
guys-
ask, who else did you give this song to? Is he
The
bigger than me?
girl who says it did treat me like shit. She was very accurate with how this was our song.
Also, I don't skate, so what the fuck are you talking about, Admiral?
No, I rollerbladed, but
I don't
she doesn't
have-
mention that.
A skateboard, let alone multiple skateboards that would necessitate a nickname like Skater Boy.
Wait, skateboard? I thought the song was about an ice skater.
Yeah,
That's not the skater boy?
hockey skater.
This-
She's
this
Canadian,
song-
so it's hockey skates.
This song is based on that movie where the hockey skater becomes
Cutting Edge.
Cutting Edge. Thank you. The ice rink. Yes.
I thought
He
you were going
becomes
to say
the
it was-
ice rink.
I thought you were going to say it was based on that movie where the hockey player takes off his skate and tries to stab somebody with it. Nobody had ever done that before.
That, of course, is called Billy Waterboy.
I'm going to put my next song in between Eminem and Avril. And again, I'm going to use this. I like this. It's up to you guys to fix the rest of this shit.
Yeah, that's how we live our lives with each other.
Wait, Ryan, you just did. Okay, I'm so confused by Serpentine. But
It is you, and then it's me,
it
Mike.
is me. Yes, okay.
And I'm sorry, you said this is going between Eminem and Avril Lavigne?
Yeah. And
It better not be Carson Daly or Fred Durst.
because they'll have to switch you chairs.
Yeah.
I want to hear Carson Daly's single, man. There's some bad Carson Daly rap that exists out there. This is not rap though. This is melodic hardcore legends straight out of Orange County at times. Half of them are doctors. They hit big in they hit like the biggest they've ever been with a little song called Sorrow. And somebody else has to figure out how Eminem to Bad Religion to Avril Lavigne works.
I fucking love
I do
this
not.
song.
I know you do, buddy.
Is this a little present to me?
It is. It's my present to you. You're my father.
It's out of here. If only dads would tell us how we'd let them down. Stop keeping it to yourself, old man.
I will let this play.
Let me take you to the hurting ground, where all good men are trampled down.
Mike, did you put this by Avril Lavigne because she's Canadian and this is how Canadians say sorry?
Yeah. I'm sorrow. I love this song, but it would be so nice to have a dad who you had to ask how I've let you down.
Yeah.
Who didn't constantly call you to let
Please
you know.
tell me. So, Mike, there's an age gap between us that I feel like really mostly comes up in music talk.
Uh-huh.
Was this your Bad Religion introduction?
No, I was introduced. They opened for Blink-182, and I went and saw
Still
that.
fucking infuriates
That's
me.
weird.
Yeah.
And in middle school, I saw Blink, and I didn't know, like, Blink was the hardest band I was into at the time, and then Bad Religion opened up for them, and I went, you can do this? And then that hardcore jumped me into this kind of stuff, and, like, my gateway into actual punk. But that was a couple years before this, so they weren't touring on an album; they were just having fun.
Did you enjoy that whole part of being a punk fan where you liked Blink, and then somebody was like, "That's not punk. This is punk." And then so you listen to Bad Religion, and then somebody else will say, "That's not punk. This is punk."
You're still
And then-
really far away.
But it's so weird because they're like, Bad Religion's not punk, Rancid's punk, and you're like, Rancid is very pop punk, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Is it because he sounds like he smokes 8 packs a day? They're cooler.
You have to keep going down the punk toilet until you just
Look.
listen to fucking garbage cans being thrown down a
It's
staircase.
recorded poorly, and they can't sing or play their instruments. That's cool.
That's punk.
And Rancid has like several songs of being badly addicted to heroin.
Mm-hmm.
That feels pretty punk.
Yeah, and I was 12, like, okay, I get it. That could be a
That'll
time
be
bomb.
me soon.
I had a doctor's appointment yesterday and wore a Blink 182 shirt to the doctor's, and a doctor that I was not talking to, involved with, just also at the office, pulled me aside and was like, "Did you get tickets? How much did you pay?"
Nice.
Everyone just knows that these are the most ridiculous, like, not Barbra Streisand, not Celine Dion, Blink 182 out there charging people as much as possible.
I wish I could tell my parents when they were telling me to turn it down, being like, this will one day be the biggest band in the world. You have no idea.
Invest now while you can.
Why didn't you buy stock?
I should have bought Blink stock. Gregory, you're up next, and then we're going to take a break.
Okay, so I'm gonna in between "Without Me" by Eminem and "Sorrow" by Bad Religion. I think we need a buffer there, and I'm gonna do the rudest thing I can think to do to Eminem, which is I'm going to put Andre
Insane Clown
3000,
Posse. Oh, okay.
Big Boy, and Killer Mike with Outkast "The Whole World" right after Eminem raps. I'm gonna have the three of them go in what is a fun, energetic song with 3 amazing rappers at the top of their games.
Yeah, I'm afraid, like I'm scared as a dog, but
Instantly
I've
so
got a
cool.
new song, and I want y'all to sing along. Sing along. See, this is the way that we walk on the sunny day.
So wait, you could have done this before Eminem, but you purposely wanted to embarrass him?
Yeah.
And if I were going to ask you to jump in, Killer Mike is the
Yes.
second verse. And this is like kind of little baby Killer Mike because, this was 20 years ago. But damn, it's the same dude. He didn't somehow learn how to rap better in the last 20 years.
This is for them niggas working at the airport who got laid off. I take my shades off. If you look straight in my eyes, you still might see it.
Player, I grind, my focus
There
is
we go.
crime. Raw with the rhyme, I'm slick with the slime. My words are diamonds, dug out of mine. Spit 'em, polish, look how they shine. Glitter, glisten, gloss, floss. I catch a beat running like Randy Moss. Ride that bitch off
Oh,
like
Randy
a brand
Moss,
new house. I'm rolling my stones, gather no mouse. Mommy, I'm coming out.
It is not fair to be so talented your entire life.
Back, forth, get that cell on course.
Now we won't even let him be a rapper anymore. It's like got to be his job to be a politician.
Go be in politics, please. Though I do think it's hilarious for somebody to do what they think is very well, and people are like, "That was great," and be like, "No, yeah, you did good," and then have Outkast come out right after Eminem.
Yeah. It's just my way of saying Eminem. I don't respect your 2002 work.
If it was live, the reverse would be true. You'd put the better person first to really suck the air out of the room for the shitty person coming up after them.
This is why your career as a live event planner has gone so well.
Yep, because I'm petty and just use my live events to punish the people who have wronged me.
This is also
Shit, do you run comedy rooms in Los Angeles?
I do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is also from the era where Outkast were still together, but
Yeah.
we're so very different. In this video, Andre 3000 is dressed like a sad clown,
Yes.
and Big Boy's like, okay, I'm gonna like not do that really for this video, and I'm just gonna show up sort of near the end to do my part, but like have fun with the weird psycho circus.
This
yeah,
is what
and sad clown, but isn't like skull makeup at one point, right?
Yeah, it
He
kind
has
of
a
looks like
few
Papa
outfit
Shango
changes.
from the WWF. He's doing a lot of good. He's doing a lot of good stuff. It's very cool. It's very artsy and high concept. It's just so different than.
This is one of those things where I didn't even notice, it didn't register until a comedy or skit show pointed it out. And those Key and Peele skits of Outkast hanging out where it's just Big Boy and then Under 3000 just like rides in on a daffodil.
And his leprechaun outfit.
sprinkling.
He's got like a big tricycle that he's on, and he's got a huge lolly. And Big Boy's like, well,
This is probably the end of Outkast, right?
This video, I was not yet into hip hop. I was fully in my angsty pop punky shit, and then I saw this video and went, I think I'm about to change a little.
So
this
this
seems
is
very cool.
in the Killer Mike. You're probably gonna need a different rap name. in the
I can't be Killer Mike.
in the Punchy Mike biopic. Watching this video is going to be like a big scene.
And a big hook was like, I like stupid, weird, creepy circuses. So I didn't get into it for the coolest reason.
Yeah, you're a Cirque du Soleil guy. We don't talk about that enough.
I went not 3 weeks ago, Greg.
Yeah.
I celebrate the entire.
You're like a
Hoover.
Grateful Dead with Cirque du Soleil. You follow them around.
Greg, how many out of 100, if we played out our 3 lives 100 times, how many of those times is Mike a juggalo?
Oh, man. Yeah, I would say like 33%.
A solid 33.
Yeah.
I own several of the Dark Carnival albums, gentlemen.
I celebrate their entire catalog.
I do not celebrate their entire catalog. I know how magnets work.
I love the air that he had when he said that, correcting us. Actually, I'm kind of a juggalo now, so I guess this is one of the 33 idiots.
We're going to take a break. I'm going to go back to therapy, and when we come back, Greg gets another turn. All right, Greg. You were up yet again. Back to back.
All right. I don't know what to do about the Outcast to Bad Religion jump that we've got, but
somebody else is going to have to figure that out, not one of us.
I think I know what to do between our Bad Religion and Avril Lavigne. And what I'm going to put in the middle of that is The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. I do think this is one of the kind of less like soulful songs of the time, but in 2002, this song meant a lot to me. I think it's a little antiseptic now, but
It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. Just try your best.
Just try your best.
Everything you can. And don't you worry what they tell themselves when you're away. It just takes some time, little girl, in a little out the right. Everything will be
very fun drums.
Fun drums. And the song owned the year. I do think going back to this, this is one of the songs I never need to hear again. You can just go, oh, there it is. There's some really good songs on that album.
Bleed America? Is that what Bleed
Yeah.
American is?
Bleed American.
Yeah, I don't even think this is the best song off the album by a
No.
lot. There's probably 4 better songs on that album, and one of them at least was way more emotional. That Crimson and Clover song.
Yeah, that's a great one. Sweetness.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, Sweetness is so good, but none of them were
Gets
as
it faster.
big. Yeah, but none were as big as this one.
Yes.
So there's ultimately this is the sound of 2002. So I went with it, and a good song. I mean, I don't want to hate on it, but yeah, it's just that album had like a lot of good emotional songs.
We are going to. This isn't going to help anything, but pull out of Skater Boy with. Some people say pints of Guinness lead to problems, and some people say pints of Guinness make you stronger. And against me, he was the first person to say that. It is from Reinventing Axl Rose. Laura Jane Grace is so fucking angry and spitting fire on this album, and it starts with killer drums, which we will hear right now. And by killer, I just mean steady.
Ever since by the elevator doors, it's been 37 years since James on St. Patrick's Day 1964. She could not hold it against him. That times no other she could do.
Young Mike did not know twangy music could be this fun at this time.
Or wear your inspirations on your sleeve and do something with it instead of dilute the shit out of them.
Right.
Yeah, just take all what is original out of them and completely bleed them of all life. Very good. I feel like that's early. Like you guys are huge Mendinger fans. I feel like that kind of scratches that same itch.
Oh yeah, people who are like, what if Bruce Springsteen but a little more punk? Yeah, that I'd say falls in that for sure. And this was one of those bands like would go on to be one of my favorite bands, but I had to hear a couple of albums. I was always like, that's cool, and now going back, I was like, oh, I should have been only listening to this album. Ryan, you're up next.
Okay, this was released at the end of 2001, but really blew up in 2002. And because we've talked a lot about 2002 being sort of like the end of the 90s, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was in a lot of ways,
Or like the epilogue of the 90s.
Right.
Almost.
and this is still thought of as like the last, still to this day. And I remember it being called like a comeback of rock, but it's now known as the single last gasp of rock. And I'm going at After Against Me.
What do they call it now? Indie sleaze?
Nice.
Makes sense.
Last night, she said, "Oh, baby, I feel so down. Oh, and turn me off when I feel left out."
And I would declare this to be the Tarantino of music of 2002 in that really revitalized the medium, but also created so much fucking copycat horseshit that it was hard to sift through.
Who is the worst of the copycats, in your opinion?
Oh, man.
There's so many.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. That's the wonderful thing about copycats. The same thing with all those movies from 1995 is they are destined to be forgotten by time.
I wish I could remember the Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead of the Indie Sleaze set.
The 2 days in the valley of the Indie Sleaze.
Exactly. And then, Ryan, you get another one, do you not?
I think I do, Mike.
Serpentine?
And so I'm going to try this for the fifth slot, the Outcast of Sorrow. I'm not sure that if it works here. I haven't heard the song in a while. It's up to you guys to fix it. Like what we said in all of our wedding speeches to each other. This is Le Tigre.
This is one of those bands that I did not know about at all in 02, and then later went, fuck, that's cool.
And if it does anything, I think that it sort of separates our opening party with some timelessness.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're going to get deeper and thicker into, goddamn, every song is more 2002 than the last.
Did they do the song Rebel Girl?
Off the top of my, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just sounds like them. Yeah, definitely not a band I knew in 2002. And I guess like anything that doesn't sound like 2002 had a chance to like probably have more staying power.
Right.
Rebel Girl is Bikini Kill,
Oh yeah.
who was talked about in the hit movie 10 Things I Hate About You.
And doesn't Bikini Kill, somebody turned into Le Tigre, or one band from the Bikini Kill era.
Shit, like an anamorph? Just turn into a tiger?
Animorphed.
I think it might be
Yeah.
the same lead singer because the voice sounds very, very similar.
Eminem's going to be so upset that we made fun of his high-pitched voice, but have no problem with Le Tigre's high-pitched voice.
Because they're not trying to act like they're too cool for school.
They're not. They just are.
And Ryan, you said you want that between Outkast and Bad Religion.
I'm hoping this solves the problem. If it does not, you guys will
Honestly,
let me know.
it's a much better bridge than what we had there, and that's a tough one to bridge.
I'm going to bridge Sorrow and the Middle. And there are other songs I'd rather pick, but this, gosh darn it, if you were an MTV2 kid like I was in 2002, did the
Deuce.
Taste of Ink rule your world? I think they're probably better the used songs. And they are a band that I loved back then, and I saw them, I think, 13 times in high school. And
Holy
it is
shit. I don't think I've been to
hard.
13 concerts.
It is difficult to imagine sitting down and listening to one of their albums in this day and age.
Ryan,
They
are you
so
ever blown away
2002.
by how much Mike lived
I know.
by the time he finished high school?
And then just retired when he met us.
yeah. This sounds like 2002 to me, for sure.
right? And yeah, there's so many screamo bands I could have picked.
Yeah.
The thing that, Mike, a lot of these bands, though, that you like, I think out of nostalgia, a nostalgia that I don't have, Your T bands, Used, Thrice, Thursday, Take You Back Sunday, etc.
Yes.
Is the catchiness, and that's I think that this song doesn't forget to let's be a little bit melodic when we sing, right? A little bit.
And that's why this one blew up from their album, and that's why I picked it, because if you listen to the others, you're like, oh, you are vomiting. There's a song called Bulimic that is amazing, but you are vomiting on stage. Like,
so not just a
clever name.
not just a clever name.
I'm actually, and I'm gonna.
Is that
if I
two
may-
Wayne's World references tonight, by the way?
Yeah, it is. Let's see if we could get two more. My hand is not off the chess piece. I'm gonna bump it before Sorrow, in between Le Tigre, and Bad Religion.
Even if somebody already put it on that document. Okay, so I'm sorry. Now it's going after
Le
No, it's going
Tigre.
after Le Tigre, before Sorrow.
Yes, I think that the Le Tigre drums into Taste of Ink drums into Sorrow, because Sorrow and Jimmy Eat World makes sense to me. From Bad Religion to Jimmy Eat World to Avril Lavigne is so just like, what do parents think punk is? What do parents think punk? Like, it's just
This album is clearly becoming. It starts off, what do we say we listen to, and then falls into what do we actually listen to? Just a
Seriously.
white boy bullshit.
Also on my white boy shit. That's my birthright. That's from Popstar.
Oh, okay. We're just doing Wayne's World tonight, Greg.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
Not
It's fine.
allowed. Not allowed.
Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
There we go.
Glenn, are you mental? I was there. Who's Anthony? Who's Anthony? Who's Anthony?
Greg, you are up.
Is this my last pick?
I think you get two more. I think it'll actually be 16 songs unless we just jump the line so Ryan can get the last pick.
Wait.
So you get two more, then I get one, and then Ryan closes it out.
All right. Let's see. Jeez, I don't know where I'm going to put some of these. Okay. I hope this isn't going to completely ruin the end of the album. But this is one where sometimes you don't get the end and you're like, I know what I'll do. I'll just sort of put in my own song kind of near the end.
Well, I do have the option to place my end song before yours, but real dick move on your part. Real dick move.
And so I'm going to, after last night, after the Strokes, I'm going to go with a little song. I tried to put on some up-tempo, fun songs, but I'm going to go with what my mood really was like in 2002. Do You Realize, by the Flaming Lips, do you realize that everyone you know will someday die? In 2002, basically all I thought about.
This is my end song.
Is it really? I totally ruined it. Much like 2002 itself, I totally ruined
You
it.
did that?
Greg 9/11 the shit out of 2002. This is one of those bands I'm still trying to get into.
Oh, really? It's hit or miss, but
Well, I'll hear a song and be like, that's amazing. And then I'll hear two songs and be like, and then I'll hear a song and be like, that's amazing.
yeah,
I
dude.
just need the two of you to make me a mixtape.
I have to say, I think that is the experience of listening. Even if you like them, that's the experience of listening to some of their albums, because a lot of it's really conceptual and weird. This is the most kind of, in a way, this is the most like down to earth, realistic, like grounded song that they have. It's off an album called Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots.
And that song is amazing.
And that song is also amazing and almost went with it, but this was the bigger song.
It was
And
on commercials.
It was on
It
commercials.
was on commercials.
What are you going to do? Commercials are the soundtracks of our lives, you know? A lot of people did realize things for the first time listening to this song.
I'm realizing that I should buy this Nissan.
Mike, put your fucking phone down. You're on Carvana.com, aren't you?
Oh,
Put it
he's
down.
buying another
Don't-
Nissan,
Don't do it, Mike.
Ryan.
Don't do it.
Oh, my God.
I love buying cars out of vending machines and nobody can stop me.
He's got
Greg-
so many.
Before we
Do
take
you know
a
how many
break,
quarters you have to put in that fucking machine?
so many, and they only take quarters. We're gonna take a break. Can you let everybody know where the mixtape stands currently?
Okay. It is Work It by Missy Elliott, Hot in Here by Nelly, Without Me by Eminem, Outkast's The Whole World featuring Killer Mike, Decepticon by L.T. Gray, The Taste of Ink by The Used, Sorrow by Bad Religion, The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, Pints of Guinness Make You Stronger by Against Me, Last Night by The Strokes, and Do You Realize by The Flaming Lips.
Man, what a side one, side two. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to finish out this playlist. Greg, with a heavy heart, I have to let you know this is your last song of the evening.
Like, I want there to be some sort of punishment that I'm allowed to do to Greg if he chooses a different one of my outros.
If you choose a different one of Ryan's outros,
Which I guarantee I'm going to.
Ryan, what band do you love that Greg hates? They don't have to have come out in 2002.
The Royal Nunsuch.
Then you get to put a Royal Nunchuck song
Fuck
wherever
yes.
you want.
All right. For my last song, Mike, there's a lot of songs on this playlist for getting rowdy with the boys. And this one, I'm going to say, is not like what a lot of people would think of first, but boys love to get together and scream sing this song with their arms around each other. It's Vanessa Carlton.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Miles.
Why would you
I said I
fucking
was
do
gonna
that?
do it,
But,
Ryan.
then
I
pick
told
a
you
different
I was
song.
going
You had
to.
the opportunity
It's the
to
only
pick a
other
different
song that
song.
I care about.
This is
okay?
unbelievable.
2002 was a complicated time.
You guys get along so well normally. I feel like I'm getting a window into your 2002 friendship with the amount of just yelling at each other
This
about
is what
whose
Greg
turn it
picked.
was.
This is what Greg picked.
All the ladies know what guys talk about. You know, the finer things in life. Check it out. Ooh, that dress so scandalous. And you know another nigga couldn't handle it. So you're shaking that thing like who's the ish with the look in your eyes.
So you're putting this on as a punishment for Greg? Living la vida loca.
And
I'm
I-
still going to do the outro. It's just going to be
Yes.
a worse song because Greg fucked up
We
twice.
took
Right
like
in a
2 outro
row.
songs.
Right
Almost
in a-
purposely.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound.
Do you know how you can tell if your group of friends is drunk? Are they just singing? Or when they finish the line, are they like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da?
How far do they bend over when they sing the line?
Yeah,
That
this is a fucking
is our-
all-timer.
Is this our generation's Sweet Caroline where people sing parts that aren't really supposed to be sung?
This is a good test. Like, if you, it's hard making friends as an adult. And if you come up to a dude and you like, he's a little too duty, a little too like, I'm a man. Ask him what he thinks about Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. And if he
Yeah.
says, I love that song, friends. If he says, what are you talking about? That's fucking, what are you,
Get out of
lame?
here, you Frasier.
You know what other song boys really like to sing? The Meredith Brooks song, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover.
I've not heard that.
That was
Oh.
my go-to karaoke for a decade.
What?
You don't
Mike.
say.
Honestly, how many times have I listened to you sing that song in karaoke?
Countless. It has to be countless.
Close to 100, I would say.
Yeah.
I
at
would
least
say
100 times.
I would say we're in triple digits by now.
Well, we go to karaoke a normal, healthy amount, so you probably heard me sing it every other week for 10 years straight. I had to retire it.
So there we are, in between the middle and Skater Boy, Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles.
All right. I think I have to be truest to myself.
Oh, Mike, you could give me 2 songs
No, thank you.
just because Greg stole 2 of mine.
I'm probably going to do
Delete
your third
that.
one that you would have been. No, I'm going to do one that was only Mike in 2002 was into this. But gosh darn it, was it so Mike of that era. This is going to go in between Pints of Guinness and Last Night. There's a little band called Flogging Molly, and they wanted you to know what you should do with what's left of the flag. The song is What's Left of the Flag. I shouldn't do lead-ups. I should actually just say the title of the song for the producer Dave in the background.
No, Foggy Molly's in the studio. They're running up real quick.
All to be seen, a life once full, now
Life?
an empty vase with the blossoms on his early grave. Walk away, me boy, walk away, me boy, and by morning we'll be free.
Don't shut it down yet.
Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me. Then the rosary beads, count them 1, 2, 3, fell apart as they hit the floor. In our garb of black, we must pay respect to the color we're born to mourn. Walk away, me boys,
pit goes
walk
wild
away,
right
me
now.
boys, by morning we'll be free. Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear.
Is there a better accent for singing about bad things that have happened than the Irish brogue?
I love how if you have any other accent, it's sort of just you like so many British bands just become American when they sing.
Yeah.
But when you're Irish, you fucking hate
You
it.
become 10 times
Yeah.
as Irish as you ever
Northern Ireland.
I'm from Flogging Molly.
and from Florida. This was my favorite band this year, and I listened to this album. And you can't really wear CDs out, but I had to buy it several times because I wore the shit out of this CD.
Damn, bro.
I freaking loved Celtic punk.
It's
in high
kind of
school.
your second pick if you count the Against Me song.
Yeah, that's true. I should have thought more ahead and not done Against Me because that is more current Mike than past Mike. But
As far as I know, I have only ever heard one Flogging Molly song, and it's called Flogging Molly, and that's exactly what it sounds like. And the white people are crying, and they're getting really riled. It's like, okay, yeah, cool.
No. So, see, Flog Molly's the happy Irish punk band. Dropkick Murphys are like, who did you vote for? What's your deal? Even though the band is super lefty, and is awesome. It'll stop the show and like speechify if they see like a Confederate flag. But the band's fans,
you're singing this song while you're going out of the streets of Boston and doing what exactly?
The band is the Dropkick Murphys are constantly like, I know what we sound like and look like, but we are not into what you, our fans, are into. Please stop.
It's like the Wachowski sisters. Like, oh, please, somebody that understands the message, like that we actually like. Please watch our movie and understand the message. But I just saw glass fly across the bar, and now we start stomping our foot.
And of course, the movie they're talking about is Speed Racer.
Of course.
We see Speed Racer before addressing us.
Matrix fans who don't understand the Matrix are terrible, but Speed Racer fans are worse.
I like how this is one thing I'm going to miss in the post Twitter age. Everybody deciding something that is undoubtedly very bad is suddenly good and being like, I love it. I love to watch this thing that's awful. And will like put you into a seizure if you try to watch it even a little bit.
All right, Ryan.
I'm going last, Mike.
The people have tried to stop you several times, and by the people I mean Greg. But gosh darn it, are you closing out this goddamn album?
After Flogging Molly, a sensitive, sort of quieter song from Flogging Molly. That would make a great outro. After last night. Oh, wow. So, wait, where did Vanessa Carlton? Vanessa Carlton's already all the way at 9?
Yeah, she's in between Jimmy Eat World and Skater Boy.
So all those are done. I don't care. I'm ending. This was, again, released at the end of 2001, but blew up in 2002. I'm ending with the single greatest song of that year.
Took too much.
I would have put money that this is years later.
What have you done?
I'm gonna bring it down a little bit for the pre-chorus, so because that chorus is gonna come in hard. So if we're gonna talk right now, let's just end it right there.
I like how this caused a little like there's a dip and then goes up right at the end for the energy level. That's a strong pick.
Now, did any part of you want to do Get This Party Started at the end to confuse everybody before the lights came on?
Okay, now that you're talking about it, yeah. How was I to know, as a young buck during the TRL era, that Pink would become one of my favorite artists and colors of my entire life?
A lot. Yeah, nobody could have known.
You weren't to know. That is 2002 mixtape. Greg, can you read out the list, and then we are going to talk about our honorable mentions.
Work It by Missy Elliott. Hot in Here by Nelly, followed by Without Me by Eminem, Outkast, and The Whole World Official by featuring Killer Mike. Decepticon by El Tigre. The Taste of Ink by The Used. Sorrow by Bad Religion. The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. Vanessa Carlton with 1,000 Miles. Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. Pints of Guinness Make You Stronger by Against Me. What's Left of the Flag by Flogging Molly. Last Night by The Strokes. Do You Realize by The Flaming Lips. And Just Like a Pill by Pink.
And just not to misgender Tigers, it's La Tigre.
It's La Tigre.
It's not.
And I'm
going
to listen to the shit out of this. I'm going to listen to the shit out of this fucking playlist. All right, Ryan, throw your honorable mentions into the sky.
We should have had some White Stripes, and the Hives mic was right on that verge for me of was it good Tarantino or bad Tarantino knockoffs? But it's so 2002 to me.
Simultaneous Tarantino, though, right? They're not the Vines.
They're not the Vine.
Whoa.
And then I wanted to get some LCD sound system on here. I just couldn't find a place. That was probably the number 5 in that number 5 spot we were trying to fill. Probably should have been LCD sound system. And then my other favorite song from this year did not have enough time to get on. It's Puddle of Mud's She Hates Me. Trust!
Greg, what about your HMs?
2. 1, because it was definitely a sound of 2002. California by Phantom Planet.
Oh, damn.
And then there were a lot of popular No Doubt songs, but only one of them sounded anything like the No Doubt of our childhood.
Yeah.
And it's Underneath It All. And that's like the last No Doubt song. I think that sounds anything like the No Doubt songs that we all liked when we were younger. Everything after that is like weird Gwen Stefani drumline stuff that doesn't quite sound authentic or ever really hit. But Underneath It All is such a good song, and she's so pretty in the video, you guys. She looks just like an angel.
Mine, the Used kind of took this spot for all of, but I wanted to do Finch, Letters to You, or Glassjaw's Cosmopolitan Blood Loss, or a one I loved, and they would grow on to be one of the biggest bands ever and sell it instantly. My Chemical Romance's Head First for Halos. Freaking loved in 02.
A song about the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Woo!
Yes.
A team that won the World Series, but only with the help of Angels, which is now against the rules.
In this year, right? Aren't we doing the year of the Angels World Series win?
Yeah.
Heavily influenced by the Wachowski sisters, The Matrix, because they sing about the red pill and blue pill a lot in this song.
I know that we already have 16 movies, but should we replace one of them with the official DVD of the Angels World Series win and review that?
I think so.
How many taste buds could we come up with? Like more than 100?
I have 17 off the top of my head right now.
Man. You got K-Rod, Ryan.
Adam Kennedy.
Benji Gill was on that team.
2 Benjis. Benji Gill, Benji Molina.
Yeah, dude, they got a Benji connection.
That is 02 mixtape, a.k.a. the Benji Connection. You can find it over on Spotify. It will be linked in the show notes I'm pointing so you can see it if you were watching us right now. We love you. We're going to go back to movies next week. And you know what we say? Keep playing those mixtapes.
This is a Missy Elliott one-time exclusive. Come on, is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down.
That's something you could have done later, Greg, but...
So, while Americans overwhelmingly support the right of an individual to make their own decisions about abortion, unfortunately, that right is no longer protected anywhere in the U.S. The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade on June 24th. Abortion is a basic healthcare need for millions of people who can become pregnant. Restricting access to comprehensive reproductive care, including abortion, threatens the health and independence of all Americans. Even if you live in a state where abortion rights are upheld, access to safe medical procedures shouldn't be determined by location, and it shouldn't be the privilege of a small few. And we're already seeing certain medical practices be restricted even in those states. You can help by donating to local abortion funds. To find out where to donate for each state, visit donationsforabortion.com. That's the number 4, donationsforabortion.com. If you or someone you know needs help, or if you want to get more involved, here are 5 resources. 1. Shout Your Abortion is a campaign to normalize abortion. 2. Don't Ban Equality is a campaign for companies to take a stand against abortion restrictions. 3. Abortion.cafe has information about where to find clinics. 4. PlantCpills.org provides early at-home abortion pills that you can keep in your medicine cabinet. And 5. Choice.crd.co. That's choice.crd.co has a collection of these resources and more. You can also find all the links to these resources at podvoices.help and in the show notes. We encourage you to speak up, take care, and spread the word.